Princess Charlene almost died after sinus surgery and has lost nearly half her body weight due to being unable to swallow, sources tell Page 6, and say it's unfair to portray her as struggling with mental health issues. Princess Charlene of Monaco almost died after having surgery to address swallowing issues stemming from a severe throat infection, a source has claimed. The princess, 43, has been at the center of an ongoing saga surrounding the royals' health after her husband Prince Albert of Monaco, 64, revealed Charlene has been admitted to a treatment facility where she will remain for at least several weeks. The royal claimed it became evident she was unwell within hours of her return to Monaco following 10 months in South Africa, and staged an intervention with her family. And now a new source has spoken to Page 6 and slammed the portrayal of mental health issues, claiming that the extent of her health complications are being downplayed and the mother of two has lost half of her body weight. Speaking to the publication this week, a source described as the royal's friend said, "It is unfair that she is being portrayed as having some kind of mental or emotional issue. We don't know why the palace is downplaying that she almost died in South Africa." Explaining that the royal had a severe ear, nose and throat infection, which resulted in severe sinus and swallowing issues stemming back from an earlier surgery. They added, "She has not been able to eat solid food in over 6 months because of all the surgeries she has since gone through. She has only been able to take in liquids through a straw, so she lost nearly half her body weight." Charlene returned to her husband and twins Jacques and Gabriella in Monaco earlier this month following a 10-month absence, while she recovered from surgery following a sinus infection she contracted during a solo charity trip to her native South Africa earlier this year. In the days after her arrival, Charlene's sister-in-law Chantal Wittstock told Mail Online the princess may not be returning to the palace and did not plan to immediately return to public engagements, although she later retracted the remark. Charlene's time away followed fresh allegations last December that Albert had fathered a love child, which would be his third, if proven, with an unnamed Brazilian woman during the time when he and Charlene, a former Olympic swimmer for South Africa, were already in a relationship. Photographs of their reunion earlier this month were greeted with a hefty dose of skepticism by the French media. Albert was waiting for her at the Monte Carlo helipad, along with their 6-year-old twins, Princess Gabriella and Prince Jacques. The family were joined by a hand-picked photographer inside the palace walls for the reunion photos. Albert said the family reunion in Monaco last week after she spent 6 months in her native South Africa initially went pretty well in the first few hours, but it then became pretty evident that Charlene was unwell. He said the former Olympian realized she needed help, adding, "She was overwhelmed and couldn't face official duties, life in general or even family life." Albert explained, "I'm probably going to say this several times, but this has nothing to do with our relationship. I want to make that very clear. These are not problems within our relationship, not with the relationship between a husband and wife. It's of a different nature." He went on to tell the magazine her current state was a result of several factors which are private. Albert continued, "She hadn't slept well in a number of days and she wasn't eating at all well. She has lost a lot of weight, which made her vulnerable to other potential ailments. A cold or the flu or God help us, COVID." He said it is not cancer-related or personal relationship issue. He later confirmed Charlene has been admitted to a treatment facility for undisclosed medical issues, as she works through a period of ill health. The location of the facility was not confirmed, though several sources claim it is in Switzerland. The prince also said rumors around the state of his marriage don't bother him too much. Doubts about the central relationship of Monaco's royal family are not new. Several residents living in the narrow medieval alleys of Monacoville confirmed to Mail Online that before she left for South Africa Charlene was spending most of her time outside the palace, living in a modest 2-bedroom apartment above an old chocolate factory about 300 meters away, rather than in the 12th century palace itself. "We often saw her outside the palace and she would usually be alone or with a bodyguard," said one source, "but she was never with Albert. It was obvious she chose to spend most of her time in the apartment rather than the palace." Princess Charlene met Prince Albert in 2000 during a swimming competition in Monaco, and the pair married in 2011, before welcoming twins Gabriella and Jacques in 2014. Born in Rhodesia, a previously unrecognized state in southern Africa colonized by the British, she relocated to South Africa aged 11. A Brazilian woman who cannot be named for legal reasons said her 15-year-old daughter was the result of an affair with Albert in 2004. Albert and Charlene were not yet engaged at this time, but they had known each other for 4 years after meeting at a swimming gala in Monaco in 2000. Lawyers for the claimant were scheduled to demand a DNA test from Albert at a court in Milan earlier this year, while his own counsel branded the action a hoax. Neither party is now commenting, suggesting some kind of generous settlement may have been reached, as happened with Albert's earlier love children. They are Jasmine Grace Grimaldi, who is now 29 and the result of Albert's affair with an American estate agent, and Alexander Coast, 17, whose mother is a former Togolese air hostess. Both children were struck off Monaco's line of succession in return for vast financial settlements. Commenting, suggesting some kind of generous settlement may have been reached, as happened with Albert's earlier love children. They are Jasmine Grace Grimaldi, who is now 29 and the result of Albert's affair with an American estate agent, and Alexander Coast, 17, whose mother is a former Togolese air hostess. Both children were struck off Monaco's line of succession in return for vast financial settlements.